Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode. I am T, and as always, I am joined by my beautiful and amazing wife, Jay, and we are just us.
No, I'm used to it. That was the first time I was used to it. You see that, right?
There you go.
Okay, something real quick to point out. Look at the wall. Look at the wall. So we are still heavily under construction
Yes, but
in this room.
this corner is complete.
Well,
almost.
Sort of. The only problem we're having is that we have this sign here that says Mrs. and Mrs. Keeles. But when we put it on, which that was the whole point of it specifically being there, it was from our wedding. It gives a weird glare, like I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't transfer well with the camera. So
yeah.
In short, we need to buy a new camera.
Because this shit was expensive and we gonna use it. So that's what we're gonna do. But other than that, and I'm not gonna go too deep, we just came
Look at our shirts
from a Disney
trivia night.
Okay, but all they wanted to do was talk about like a handful of princesses, and anyway, we documented that and we're gonna post that up later. But I wore my Disney villain shirt. Thank you, AJ. And she wore her little Mickey shirt.
My leprechaun Mickey.
We even practiced before we went. We're making dinner. We're going through Disney trivia questions.
We thought we had that shit. We weren't so confident.
We was in our car listening, singing to Disney songs. None of that shit. One question that we had prepped was a question that we got an answer for
beforehand
from us learning trivia today.
Right.
So that was disappointing, but we literally just came home from that, and I think it was BS. And I personally don't think that we should take it as an L because we did lose, but we came prepped for Disney trivia, not just like 5 of these heifers and made up questions.
Baby.
But that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that right now. But that's where we just came from. So I just wanted to air it out. I just wanted to vent it out a little bit. But that's why we got our little Disney shirts. Well, this is Disney villains because they're badasses, and honestly, I think they're all just misunderstood. So
I think
I like the villains.
If we were in a Disney movie, I will be the princess and she will be the villain. She would be trying to kill me.
Oh my god, that's quite the statement.
It's only because I really like Disney princesses and she really likes the villains. She always says they were just misunderstood.
Which they are, but I'm gonna be a villain and you're a princess.
That's just because
you always say that I'm your Princess Charming.
You are, but you are siding with the villains all the time. We went to Busch Gardens and her highlight of the whole day was looking at the hyenas.
They didn't have Scar there.
See?
And we couldn't find Ed the hyena.
And what did you say about him?
There. He was just misunderstood.
There you go.
If I could, you know what? If I could interview...
You said that too.
One villain.
I want to interview him.
Yeah, I want to interview Scar. I mean, he's a badass. Like, bro, I feel you. Sometimes you just get handed a pile of shit and you got to make it work. He's doing the best he can.
But he wants to kill his brother to take the throne.
Okay. Little drastic, yes. Little bit drastic.
And his baby.
Who,
Simba.
Simba?
Yes. He killed Mufasa and wanted to kill Simba with him.
Okay, when you put it like that, though, I didn't say he was the best guy.
He was misunderstood.
I just think he's misunderstood. I didn't say they had halos on their head. All right, if you could interview one Disney character, who would it be? It could be good, bad, sidekick, whoever.
Flynn Rider.
Flynn Rider, okay. From Tangled. How come?
He's cool.
Like you'd want to hang out with him, or you'd want to interview him?
I want to hang out with him.
You'd hang out?
Interview maybe Pascal.
Pascal.
The chameleon.
Very cute. Okay. All right, I'd have to think about mine. I don't know, because I want to talk to Scar. I want to ask a few psychological questions to really determine, is he bad?
He's bad.
Or is he misunderstood?
He's bad.
I think he's misunderstood.
No, because he was born royalty. He could have just been by the side of his brother, but because he wasn't the oldest one, he was like, "Well, screw you, Mufasa."
I thought you were gonna say, "Screw you, motherfucker." Honestly, I think we don't have enough information on their background. That's the more I'm putting some thought into this. I don't think we have enough info on their background to like hardcore just say, yeah, he's just bad.
All right.
That's what I'm thinking because
Okay.
I'm thinking of the movie and I'm like, I don't think they elaborate. I don't think I have enough info to sit down in a therapy session with him and just know that I have him figured out. Like I need some background.
Well, I know
I
he
need to know
was.
how they grew up.
I know he was exiled.
Do they say why?
I don't remember why.
Hmm?
They must have
There
a
could
good
be
reason.
some trauma there.
There must be a good reason, babe.
I don't know if there must be. I mean, I'm just saying.
All right.
I'd interview him. I wouldn't want to hang out with him though, because it's stabby in the back.
He's shady.
But he's shady, but there's reasons why. We don't know those reasons.
So you want to interview him while he's in a straitjacket?
Yeah, them nails is no joke. So something mittens or like something, because I don't know. But all right. Anyways, but beside that, it was a good night. It was fun. It's always a good night. But I definitely feel like they need a whole new lineup of questions, or they need to be more specific about what about Disney is being talked about. Because to me, Disney is Disney. It's the whole thing. And we didn't go over the whole thing tonight.
Yeah, no, we talked about just the princesses and some
then at the end of it all, me and her are turning on each other. And so I was like, oh my God, this is what they want us to do. Like, you know, but it was all good. So the next one is in 2 weeks, and that's Game of Thrones, which we actually saw the whole series
from front to back.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna see. We're gonna do a little recap over the next.
We gotta do a recap, and we might have to watch the prequel because they're probably gonna throw some shit in there.
Yeah, if it was anything like tonight, we're like, oh, let's just push it out of our ass. Like, okay, then they're gonna do some extra. Nah, they made me mad, but I don't think it's an official L. And our team name, because you had to submit your team name. There's 21 teams. Well, some of them had like 15 people on there, and we're like, oh, of course you guys got the answers. Somebody in the tribe knows. But our name was Keela's Crew of Two. Keela's Crew of Two.
Or if has the announcer Jody was saying it, Quilla's.
Quilla's of Two. And we were like, whack. It just killed the whole flow of the name. So we were like, that's us.
That's us.
Yeah, but we're going to go back. Game of Thrones. It's
You're going to be ready because there was some like nerds up in there. I mean, props, kudos to you.
Yeah, we wasn't hating, but like you could tell. You could tell you could tell they weren't us prepping right before. Like they knew.
Now they knew their stuff.
This shit. So yeah. But yeah, anyways, that was that. So next up is Game of Thrones, and we are gonna be ready.
Maybe. Maybe. Okay.
I don't know. It's been like almost 2 weeks. We did a few things.
Hey.
Let me tell you real quick.
What?
The love that I have for my children. Any parents out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. The shit we do for our kids. So my son's not a concert kid. Like we try to bring him to Bad Bunny. Yeah, we try to bring him a couple places.
Yeah, he said he wanted to go to Bad Bunny, but then last minute he was like, never mind.
Never mind. Okay, cool. It's not your thing. So he comes to me. He's like, oh, Ma, I don't like concerts and stuff. Not that he don't like them, but like it's not his thing. He's actually never gone to one. He's like, but there's this one guy. I'm so excited. He's coming to Orlando. I really want to see him. So I look him up, and it's not an actual arena. It's a club. It was a nightclub. So she was educating me that that's usually how it goes, because he had like a tour, but I was clicking on all kinds of stuff, and I see, there's all like clubs or theaters and stuff like that. So she was educating me that that's like when you're like little famous, I guess, like before
you get like a little bit of clout. Yeah.
So we're like, but who's this guy?
Girl.
So we look him up, and his name is Baby Tron. Right. So we're like, okay, off the name, right? I'm like, okay, this dude's gonna be trash, right? So, but We look him up, and he was
trash.
trash. Yo. And then come to find out, he's part of this group called the Shitty Boys. But he's sliding off doing his own thing. So I'm like,
So, babe, let me ask you: did they live up to their name?
oh, they lived up to their name, yo.
Okay, I thought
So the reason why I say I love my children so much, I knew I was taking one for the team before I even looked this dude up. They're all like, Babytron, who the hell? And then he told me he sees him on YouTube. So I like already knew. I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. And I was like, okay, how much do I love you?
That was like not even a question.
Yeah, so I went. So I'm not gonna lie, I had a great
Oh, sorry.
time because of my son, right? And he got mad gas when he seen the actual guy come out. But if we're talking about music,
Did he even
it's
sing?
gonna be a no for me. Nah, and then the dude has a blunt the whole time. So they have the background music playing, like the music with the words themselves, whatever they're rapping. He chimes in when he feels like it. If not, he's smoking, and the words are still going. So I'm like, for that, we can listen to you on YouTube at home, nice and quiet and cozy. Like, what are you do? So he could smoke. It's one of those guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I may be frowned upon right now. Like, you took your child to what? And he was doing what? Like, we already knew what it was saying for. But I was like, you know what? He's still gonna listen to this trash whether I take him to this thing or not. So might as well be a good memory, right? I get to take him to his first, possibly only concert. And him and I had fun. It was in Orlando, so we had a little drive there, a little drive back. But just seeing his face, it was all worth it. And then one of the guys we got to take a picture with at the end, which was cool. My son was like straight starstruck. So that was cool. It was fun. But the things you do when you love your kids, I will say that. So I did that within the last week, I think.
Yeah, that was last week. Last week Thursday.
Yeah. And so I think that's all we've really been up to like
I
that.
think so. Nothing crazy over the weekend, right?
No, nothing too crazy. I'm completely and 100% how you say obsessed, as my wife calls me, with the stock market. Made a couple of moves, and I have been stalking this thing. And so you know that she's a passenger princess. God forbid I ask her to just say, I gotta try it. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. One time in the last how many years, I was like, babe,
It doesn't
I
matter.
got my phone. I was like, babe, I'm making moves right now. I can't afford to be looking at no road. I could drive, but we gonna die. And then we're not even gonna get to spend the fruits of our labor that we about to make. And so she's like, fine, I'll drive. And I'm sitting in the passenger because I need to be able to see it. So anybody that knows anything about stocks, well, depending on your strategy and what it is that you're doing, you may or may not, but have to be glued to your phone. So that's been me the past 2 days, I think.
Yeah. Be like,
I'm like, I'm sorry, babe. I'm listening to you. I just need to be over here, okay? I need to be over
she
here.
tunes me out all day.
For a good reason.
I'm like, babe, I love you. Babe, I'm an idiot. What? Yeah, I know.
Not at all. I just been. She says I'm obsessed. I'm like, we're trying to make money. I am.
No, you're right.
But
For
so
good
far,
reason.
it's been a good run. But other than that, so I'm getting back into that because I was into that, and then I fell off, and now I'm back. So yeah, there's that. Babe, anything that you want to report? Anything you want to say before you tell me what your topic is?
I don't know. Not that I can think of. No.
So what's your topic?
Ah, ha. So, hey, you can't even see that.
Oh, I was just fixing it for you.
Thank you. So cute. All right, so my topic of the day. You ready? Okay. So, what are your thoughts or feelings on people having work wives or work husbands?
You want to answer first?
Well, listen. I think it could go either way. Like I know people that have work husbands or work wives and they're just strictly friends, like best friends. and they just call them that because they hook each other up at work with like food, or they got each other's backs, or and then they go out with their spouses together, a double date, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I've seen those kinds of relationships at work. I've also seen the flip side, where work wives and work husbands start becoming a thing
Mm-hmm.
at work. So,
So, what's your opinion?
oh, we don't like work wives or work husbands.
We don't like them. Now, I always had a thing about this, right? And again, I may not get the popular vote for this because I'm probably way too literal and just way too like old school mentality. I don't know, whatever it is. That shit ain't flying with me. Period. Because I feel like, okay, yes, sometimes you have coworkers that hook you up, they bring you food, you bring them food, or whatever it may be. There's a title for that: bestie, best friend, homeboy, homegirl,
Betsy.
home slice, co-worker, best co-worker.
She said home
Call
slice.
them whatever you want, but I'll be damned if you calling them your wife, husband. Okay, the word, what is it
Work.
in front is work. I don't give a shit, because right now, if I hear husband, wife, and you talking about somebody else that ain't me, that first word already is gone. I don't know what the word is. I don't care. I'm like, hold on, you telling a story about somebody you call your wife is, it's not me. You ain't gonna be able to finish that story. First of all, it's gonna be an issue. So for me, because we used to work in the same place, and people said that all the time. Now, I'm not saying that for other people, comes that judgment or like, oh, how you gonna call them? I get that it can be a very innocent thing. But for me personally, no. We ain't doing that. Ain't no work wife, work husband. Like, you are gonna address them as co-workers. And same for me. Like, no, I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's funny.
Oh Lord.
Like, because at that point, someone is sharing my title. I don't care if the word work is in front of it. So there's a lot of stuff that you do with your real wife. What you got a work wife. So what you do with a work wife? No, it's gonna be a no for me.
Yes, ma'am. What she said.
That's why I said I'm probably not gonna get the popular vote on this one, but that's okay. But I ain't playing that shit.
Okay. All right.
So if it wasn't clear before,
Yes, ma'am.
you have anybody trying to be your work wife or work
No,
husband?
ma'am. No, ma'am. They know better. They know who my wife is. Like, bitch, don't try that shit.
Very well.
They know you crazy.
Yeah, I ain't going for that.
You show up at work like, who?
We ain't going for that. All right, well, I'm gonna tell the story that we heard. Can I don't know if I can say who said it.
What story? Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Mama.
You gonna put her out?
She don't watch this. My mother.
Yo, I don't know why I found
she has been laughing
so funny for the last few days, right?
Listen.
So her mom's got 2 dogs, and one of them was kind of tripping, bit the other dog, and has been a little aggressive. And I don't know, all of a sudden she lost it, right? So her mom says, hey, she gotta go, because I think she tried to bite them too.
Well, also the landlord just said, she has to go or you gotta move out.
Oh, okay.
So it was like an ultimatum thing.
All right, so I'm laughing because I keep jumping ahead. So her mom says, yeah, she took it to the pound, right? So that they could try to like rehome her, whatever. But I think she was trying to avoid fees, right? Yeah. What it was. Yeah. So she said, she took it to the pound. And she said, hey, I found this dog and I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to turn her in.
Tell me how the people came back after my mom have given her license, and they come back like, Ma'am, we have, we have a picture of your dog in your front yard at this address
From last year.
from last year.
So she forgot that last year somebody had called on them because the dog wouldn't stop barking. So the whatever people control whatever they
Animal
came
control
out
came, yeah.
and they took pictures of this dog in the her dog in her
And put it
yard.
in
It's
the
a big
system.
yard. So they put it in the system. So I was crying. I think I might have had tears because I was just thinking like, yo, that's embarrassing. Like, ma'am, why you playing games? Like, we have a picture.
Yeah.
So I think she just kept the combo moving, right? She was
Yeah.
like, anyway, what I gotta do to drop her off. So yo, I was rolling about this for days, like well after we had left. I think we were even in bed at one point, and I just started laughing, and she's like, "Babe, really?"
I'm trying to sleep. I'm like with my eyes closed, and all I hear is,
Yo, I was cracking up because I'm just thinking, I'm putting myself in her shoes. I'm standing in front of you, telling you, "Hey, I don't want nothing bad to happen to the dog. I don't know where her family is." Like I'm gonna drop her off here, and they looking at you like, like. So this is what prompts my next question, because at that point I was saying that if it were me, if I started that lie, I'm seeing it all the way through. At that point, for me, I'm gonna be like, look at the picture and be like, no, that's not the same dog. Like I'm sticking because yeah, I'm like big on, and I'm not talking about this. This is a different kind of lie. This is like, hey, we need to get her gun. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, but like for real, lying and stuff. Like I think everybody lies, but I try my best. Like, I don't know. I feel really, really insulted if somebody tries to call me out like a liar, right? So, with that in me, if I'm gonna go lie about this dog, at that point, like, I'm sticking with a lie. Like, this lie just became true. And I'm gonna say, no, that's a picture. No, but that's that's a picture of my dog who happens to look like this dog. I don't know this dog, and I'm dropping this dog off, but that's my dog. I have that dog. It's at home. But I don't care if they look at me crazy, they don't believe me. My point is, if I'm starting one, I'm seeing it through, right? So this story was so funny to me, but it got me thinking. And at this point, I'm not referencing her mom. It got me thinking just about liars in general. So I went on my phone and I looked up like how many kinds of liars you have. And so I wanted to run through them real quick. And I wanted to see, babe, like what kind of liar are you?
Okay.
So
Go.
and then what kind of liar am I? Right? Under the premise that at some point everybody lies. But we're talking about as an adult, and like, yeah, once you hear the list, it's not always intentional. But this story is what prompted me to talk about liars, because this was so comical to me. All right, so it says you have your pathological liars. Those are individuals who habitually lie without any apparent motivation or clear reason. They often have an uncontrollable urge to say or make false statements. Have you ever known anybody like that?
Not that comes to mind right away.
I had one. I
Yeah,
had one in my
I
life.
remember your story.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put his name out here, but it was someone that I kind of grew up with, and like, their family moved out of New York, our family moved out of New York, and somehow we linked up again in a different state that we moved in. And then when I came out here to Florida, he found me out here too, and the dude hadn't changed at all. He would lie about any and everything, but like, you could ask somebody a question and maybe they don't want to tell you the truth, so they lie. No, you didn't have to ask a question. He just lied. He would just start a conversation. Hey, did you know blah blah blah, and it was a lie. Like, so that was bad. So then you have compulsive liars. And it says they may lie for any number of reasons, such as to gain attention or to avoid responsibility.
So that's
So,
kind of along the same lines as pathological liars, right?
well, I kind of thought so too, but it says like there's no rhyme or reason for the pathological lie. Compulsive lie is for any number of reasons. It could be to gain attention or to avoid responsibility. So I guess compulsive would be like if you mess something up and somebody asks, like your initial instinct is just to lie about it.
Oh, I see, I see, I see.
Like, oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm just gonna lie, even if it's not major. But you either, I guess, trying to avoid the responsibility, but it is compulsive. So I guess on the
Yeah,
spot,
so
like
like even
you.
if you are thinking or you know that it's like is a yes, like nah, that was me. I
I
got you.
think that's what that. Do you know anybody like that?
Yeah, a lot of people work.
A lot of people at work.
Yeah, I didn't
So,
say that, bitch. Yes, you did.
oh, that's the example,
Yeah,
girl.
that's the
I thought you had
example.
a straight split personality. I really looked. I was like, I'm like, who you having a conversation with? Yo, I was scared. Yo. People at work. I didn't say that, bitch. Yes, you did. I was like, yo, I was just reading up earlier on split personalities, different stories. So that literally got me nervous. I was like, cut? Like, hello? Who am I talking to? Okay. All right. To clarify, that was her
That was an
example
example.
of someone at work. Like, yo, you did whatever. No, I didn't, bitch. Yes, you did. It was a dialogue. That's what that was. Okay. It was an example. Oh my gosh.
Okay, next.
All right. Then you have careless liars, or people who tell lies without considering the consequences. They do not think about the potential harm they could be causing to others. So
They
I
all kind of run
guess
along together.
I don't know. I guess careless wouldn't be compulsive. I guess at that point,
You're thinking about what you're saying and what that you know that you're lying, but you're not caring about your consequences. It's the same thing as compulsive.
yeah,
I think so because compulsive, you're not thinking about the consequences either. You're just saying it because that's just way what's in your nature. You don't want to be in trouble, right?
I know it gets
It
tricky. It
gets
gets
tricky.
tricky. Then you have white liars, which are usually not considered actual liars. White lies are justified as being harmless and even beneficial, depending on the situation.
It's kind of like Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and all that shit.
Yeah, I guess those will be white lies. But I feel like the mere definition of a white liar, or like putting a name to white lies, is almost like a green light for people to be like, oh, but it's not that serious.
Not that bad. It's still a
Like
lot.
the Santa thing and the Tooth Fairy, that's true, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, it's a little white lie. But I don't know, I feel like people run with it sometimes. Oh, it's just a
Yeah.
little white lies, don't hurt nobody. But the fact that it has a name, like, no, bitch, you a lie. Like, because if you know that that's something you do on a regular basis, so you're
Hmm.
not hurting no one, you're not deflecting, but I don't know. What's the next one?
An avoidant liar lies to deflect conflict. Avoidant liars don't lie to scheme, manipulate, or intentionally harm. They lie to keep the peace. So,
Hmm.
like white liars.
So you feel like those are the same?
I think so because I mean,
I don't know. I feel like
I don't
white
know.
liars are just like little ways to just be dishonest, but because it doesn't really cause harm, it's like, and this is just like, I'm just gonna lie. That's like if we're beefing
Oh,
and
okay, I see.
maybe you're telling me, oh no, you're telling me that you're beefing with someone else. But to keep the peace with you, maybe I'm like, yo, you right. She dirty, yo. She
Yeah, I see, I
grimy.
see, I
But in
see.
my head, I'm like, damn, I don't really think she was wrong.
I
But
see.
I'm gonna avoid. I'm guessing.
Oh, catching liars. Catching liars, both psychopaths and natural liars have the extraordinary ability to inhibit facial signals that portray their true feelings. What does that mean?
So I don't know. Catching liar, it's
We're just
like
getting too
you
intertwined in this thing.
purposely are not gonna react. But I don't know how that's a liar. Let's move
Mm,
on.
yeah.
Oh, then it talks about psychopaths. Okay,
Okay. No.
exaggeration. is usually used to enhance. People who use these lies are usually telling a story that's based on the truth, but they build it up.
Okay, so if you watch our podcast, she's a great storyteller. But what does she use?
Is that I'm a great liar? That's what you're saying?
No, great storyteller. You tell stories very well. But she uses a lot of exaggeration.
I do. So I would say that I'm an exaggerative liar. I feel like that sounds so harsh, but
I built her own category the other day for you.
You what?
I say I built your own category.
What does that mean?
I invented one.
For me?
Because I don't think it's there.
Oh, she did. What you put me in?
The lazy liar.
Well, hold on. So let me finish. My exaggeration, though, I know I'm exaggerating, and it's usually just to make somebody laugh. And then I'm like, all right. I'll tell the truth. But it's not definitely not on some sickness level where it's like, oh, what are you talking about? I don't even notice I'm saying that. It's not true. Like, no, definitely not. But she made a category for me. What is it? Lazy liar?
Lazy liar.
Which is what again?
It's whenever you are asked a question and you know you can find the answer, but you choose not to get up and find it, and you just go with the default. No.
That's not a liar, though.
That's what I'm going with.
Oh, okay. That's just because that's what you said, and that's it.
Correct. I made it up.
She's talking about, okay, like I'll have a list on the side of the fridge
for like groceries.
I don't know why I'm burping. I'm sorry.
For Gita. Okay.
Yeah, for like groceries. I was gonna say for burps. But I forget. So it's like I'll put one thing today if I realize we're out of something, one thing tomorrow. It's as I go, and then when it accumulates. So the other day I'm like, babe, can you get a Walmart order for whatever it is? But it wasn't food or anything. It was like something, the Band-Aids, like something specific. I wanted it now. My son needed it. So she's like, hey, anything else we need? I was like, oh, milk. Anything else? I was like, oh, not that I know of at the moment. That's pretty specific. I don't think that's a lazy lie. I forgot about the list. I forgot about the list.
It's on the side of the fridge, but you made it.
But I did make it. But I forgot about the list. So I said, well, to the best of my knowledge, not that I know. Because in my mind, I'm not going through everything that's in the pantry. Like, I'm not doing that right now.
Mind you, she's out there.
I'm thinking, well, nothing that I could think of at the moment. But I forgot about the list. Trust me, I forgot about the list.
And then what was it the other day? I asked you for something in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you, I was like, oh, babe, is my da-da-da there? And you're like, no. And it was by her feet.
I didn't see it. What do you want? If I don't see
lazy lie, instead of just...
Hold on, because this is different. So you're telling me that I didn't even look, that I literally did. You're saying, hey, you didn't look well, or you're saying, no, you're a liar because you didn't look and you said no.
I'm not calling you a liar.
Different. Wait. So that day, whatever you were looking for, you think that I just didn't look? And I was like, no.
You didn't.
Or you think I didn't look well? Because there is a difference.
You were like here and you just went, no.
So you're saying, so I didn't look well?
You didn't look well.
Or was I like, oh, hey, babe, can you find mine? I was like, no, I don't see it. Like, because I think there's a difference. Well,
I didn't quite see you because I was in the bathroom coming out and I was like, really, babe? It's right here.
But that's why I'm asking you personally. What do you think happened? Do you think that I lied and I literally didn't look? Or do you think I just didn't look well?
Knowing you, I think you just didn't look well. You just probably went like, no. Babe, come on.
Okay, but what you're saying is not adding up. You said knowing you just... But then that's a look. But I didn't look well. Right, so do you think I didn't look well, or you think I didn't?
She doesn't fit the liar profile. Is that what you wanted to hear?
I'm asking a very direct question, and you're not matching your answers.
I don't have the answer for you right now.
Oh, so you're pleading the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
You don't have the answer for me right now. Would that be an avoidant lie? Let me see.
I don't. I just don't have the answer for you.
Deflect conflict.
I just don't. No, I just don't have the answer for you right now. I don't know. I don't recall.
I'm asking you right now. What do you think happened right now?
I just, and I answered it twice, but she is not what she want to hear. So she continues to ask me the same question.
No, you said, I think you didn't look. That you just went,
yeah.
That's looking. So you think I didn't look well? Because your actions say I didn't look well. Your mouth is saying I didn't look. I'm just asking for clarification.
On the
here.
second one, if you rewind this clip, I say you didn't look well enough.
Okay. So that's what we're going with?
Yeah.
I thought you said you couldn't recall. So apparently I'm a lazy liar, which I don't think is an accurate title, but she's an avoidant liar.
Lighter.
She'll just say whatever, so we don't
beef.
disagree, so we don't beef.
Happy way, happy life. What else you want?
Yeah, okay. Let's move on to your would you rather.
All right.
Thank you for putting up with us, you guys.
Hi.
Well, while she looks for that freaking dog story. Tell me y'all ain't find that funny. I want you to literally put yourselves in that position. Like, I'm over here. I gotta get rid of this dog. I'm not trying to pay fees. Oh, you found it?
Yeah, what's the name?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Did you finish? I didn't do nothing. I was just literally looked up.
No. I said I was just gonna talk while you were looking for it, but that was fast.
Okay. Yo.
Oh, you lucky they can't see because of the mic. Y'all see that little fist?
What fist?
She's doing this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Oh, is that a lie? Yeah.
Would you rather not brush your teeth for a week or not take a shower for 2 weeks?
Right about now, I'm going to do which one's going to make you suffer the most. So, not brush my teeth for a week or not shower just
for 2 weeks?
Yep. I'm not going to shower. 2 weeks.
All right, it's not that far off.
Oh, so I'm a dirty bum now? Yo. I'm saying they were going through
kidding,
some rough
baby.
times. I was like depressed at the time and everything.
God,
Okay, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it.
What the heck?
Okay.
Yo, you just went left field with that shit.
All right. I'm not showering for 4 weeks now. That's what I'm choosing.
You wouldn't even stand yourself in a week.
I don't care. I'll put my little essential oil. Yo, now I ain't showering for 4 weeks. Forget the teeth, because you don't care. You be trying to kiss me when we wake up, and I'll be like, oh, I ain't brush my teeth. And you be like, I don't care. I'm like, you nasty. So, I ain't showering for 4 weeks.
I ain't brushing my teeth for a week.
Okay.
That's my answer. Because you can always mask it. You eat something, you can't even smell it no more.
Oh, you sound like you're talking from experience.
I'm just saying.
Just saying how you know.
Because it happens. When you eat breakfast, sometimes that's why I brush my teeth before eating breakfast. Because if you eat breakfast, then you just tend to forget. You gotta brush your teeth before brushing your teeth.
Wasn't that normal practice to brush your teeth before you eat? Like, I know sometimes I do it backwards, but I'm just being lazy.
Yeah, you'll be like, no, I want to eat before I brush my teeth. And I was like, why you do that? You're gonna forget.
Well, I don't ever forget though.
No, you don't.
I definitely brush my teeth.
But I would.
All right. Well,
is that starting today or?
Did you just... I looked at the camera over here and I see like, it's gonna be 5 weeks. I ain't taking a bath in 5 weeks.
Is that starting today or? Well, you showered today, so that's fine. I'll be all right.
She's a bad girl. And she's gonna get pow. No, never mind.
You promise?
Yeah, she's not gonna get pow. That's what she wants. Only thing that's gonna be hitting you is that rank when it's like pop in the face after week 1 and 2.
You ain't sleeping on our bed.
That's half my bed. I'm gonna sleep on my side.
Because that's gonna seep into the mattress. I can't do that.
Oh, you putting some thought into this now? I think we're done here.
We're going to
but I'm gonna pick my little.
Can I take it?
What?
The food for thought.
You said the poops a pot.
All right, you
You
ready?
read it.
This is actually good, honey. Don't you read it like 3 times? A peaceful mind is a strong mind. I'm going to read that again. A peaceful mind is a strong mind.
That was two.
One more time. I'll read that one more time for y'all. A peaceful mind is a strong mind.
So I just want to say that if you're trying to do an impression of me, that was all wrong. I'm going to say that. I don't get all 9-100 with it. Yo, I repeat it because it's food for thought, throw it out again so they don't gotta rewind. It's a courtesy for y'all. That's why I repeat it. But somebody wanna act like me right now. Okay, well then act like me and speak on it. And I'm gonna be you. True. Babe, what you think about that? True. Yo, so I'm gonna be you and you're gonna be me and you're gonna speak on it.
No, can you speak on it?
Are we done role playing?
I feel like you can speak on that better than I can.
A peaceful mind is a strong mind. Oh, definitely self-explanatory on that one. I don't think we even need to elaborate.
You didn't hear me the first 3 times I said it? You have to read it one more time.
As me. We were done role playing, so I guess if I were to really kind of speak on it as far as personal experience, there's times that I have literally, and she could attest to this, that I have literally felt like I was losing it, right? Like one flew over the cuckoo's nest, losing it. Like I was just even questioning my mental on another level. And a lot of it had to do with I had no peace in my mind. And anybody could say a peaceful mind, da da da. Okay, well, that's not always easy to get.
Yeah.
And I think there's definitely different things for different people. Like I could be in a situation that for you would be a breeze, and you're like, oh, why are you stressing? And vice versa. My main thing for me is my kids. I think I've been through my own share of stuff, and I've been all right. When it comes to my kids and them being in pain or hurt or anguish, and I don't want to, put all their business out, but we just been through a lot as a family, especially when you're raising kids without the other parent, but the other parent is just on some other like we don't agree on nothing. There's a lot. There's a lot to this that I'm not gonna get into, but the strong mind is that I didn't have a peaceful mind, and there were times where I really thought like legit I'm like, babe, I ain't good, I'm freaking losing it, like I don't even know, on a whole nother level. So anyway, I'll leave it at that, but I'm sure that plenty of people have been in that same position. And once I got my shit together to where I could find that peace, it didn't necessarily mean that everything was just magically okay, but it was like you got to find something, right? Whether it's an activity. Actually, yoga for me helped a lot, but that's another topic too. Is like all the philosophy of the lifestyle of yoga, not necessarily or just like, the poses and stuff, but I think that's what helped me to get a peaceful mind. And one thing that I did learn, well, I learned a lot of things, but one thing, I don't know if I specifically learned it during my yoga training, but basically, I think in something that I read, because I read a lot of stuff, right? And I'm sure I mentioned this to you before, is that, and this seriously helps me, is that not to take life personal, right? And I feel like that's such a
Yeah, you've been saying that a lot
free
lately.
statement, but my mentality started to change when I really felt like it's not personal, right? Life isn't necessarily happening to us. It's just
When we're
happening, and
just
it
there.
feels very personal. But once you tell yourself, yo, this shit is not personal, it just is. Like sometimes life is great and sometimes it sucks. And it just is. That's the way it works. I don't know that algorithm, right? But
Yeah.
so that's something for me, and I hope it helps at least one person that hears it, right? Because I didn't make up the theory, somebody else did, but it's something that I keep it literally in the forefront of my mind when I start to let certain things bother me for whatever would be a little bit too much for my liking. So that bar is set different for everybody. But then, when I'm getting close to that bar, I'm like, yo, I'm taking this shit way too personal. Like, this is just life. Like, life happens and sometimes it just sucks. But there's always a teeter totter. At some point, it does get better and it might go back to worse and it might go back to better. But it's not personal. It's just life. Shit happens pretty much. So, back to this.
And that was Jill not getting into it.
That was me not getting into it. Y'all lucky. Y'all lucky. But yeah, so a peaceful mind is a strong mind. Very true. So basically, guys, find that peace. Whatever helps you to get that peace, because then your mind is much better, even if stuff is not necessarily peaceful. You can get yourself a peaceful mind and find that good spot, and you'll be all right. So yeah.
True.
Exactly. What do you think about that, babe?
True.
And this is why we mesh so well together. We balance each other out.
All right, y'all. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. You are a real one. Make sure to follow us on our Instagram at justus_2228 and our YouTube, TikTok, Spotify at justus2228. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.